So that's on. You are on.
Yes.
We've got our microphones. We have our Technical Tuesday questions. We've got 11 comments from the last live. Outside of the live comments, which you can go check out, we have the previous live that we didn't really get to because we were doing live last week. And then, obviously, we have the Tech Tuesday before then. We'll get to as many as we can. Maybe make it a little longer. Who knows? But we're here on a Tuesday, of all things. Not live, but the next best thing.
That's true. I like the live stuff. You can't hide from it.
Yeah. No, it's fair. It's true. But we're back answering questions for the people. I'm Ben, by the way, as you probably know.
I'm Tim.
Yeah. And, yeah. We're going to get into it.
Yep,
Before we do, Tim, do you have any questions, quibbles, thoughts, fashion statement tips for the people of the aftermarket automotive industry before we begin? We're a little tired this morning, but it's okay. We're rocking. It's all right.
Oh, I'm full of life here, Benjamin.
Yes.
I'm in my prime. So, you know, if you go to the Tail of the Dragon, watch out for motorcyclists.
Also fair.
It gets a little hairy out there sometimes. I did go do testing and tuning with the Tahoe on the Dragon. That is local for me, so that's not a problem at all.
Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah, that was good fun. The DJI Action 5 I was using, the footage got all weird because where I mounted it at, the little map elastic on my visor went down in front of it. I didn't notice because I was kind of driving. But I got a little bit with my cell phone, which you'll see in the short video. It was a really good time. The fuel economy is pretty good for that truck with those big old tires I got on it and all that extra noise I got going on. But it was a win, and I got to lay down a pretty sick tune. I got the timing just right on 87 pump gas. The fuel table, I didn't have to do that much to. The most I moved out, I think, was 12% in the middle upper section of the map. It was just a little bit rich there. I got rid of the wide open throttle enrichment modifiers. Just went flat with it because most of my stuff doesn't have catalytic converters. It just be like that sometimes. But it's true. It's true. It keeps people from having to jack my car up at 3 a.m. and then realizing, oh, look, there's a pipe here.
Yep.
You know. Oops. Don't tell the EPA. They're weird about that stuff.
No.
This is Tennessee. They don't care about that here.
No, but seriously, we've done quite a bit of Killshot Fusion videos here relatively recently. I think at the end of the day, I know you can pick up the Killshot 1 right now for $499.99. Not much longer, but you still can. It's probably going to be the most affordable unit we have. Plus, we announced our Bluetooth module on here.
We got great stuff coming out.
Some really good stuff. But I mean, it's really a fantastic unit for the price.
Yeah.
I
was up at 2 a.m. looking at market copy stuff, measuring information about harnesses and new products and things, and I'm very excited, excited about this stuff. Hopefully you guys are too. I mean, all this stuff is just generated from your suggestions of like, we want this, and it's like, well, how can we best go about that and still satisfy everybody and meet everyone in the middle with this stuff. So
all right, well then we'll jump right back into the questions, starting with question 1 from BryantStilwell, nomadic dyno out there in the middle of the Midwest. 440 Joker testing update. Startup, drivability, and power on the dyno, all great with the Joker 440, even on a tremendously worn-out block. This block was a formula for disaster, and the Joker didn't care. It's just doing its job. It's a fill the oil and check the gas situation. It's great, and finally have multi-port on the CUDA, which is awesome. I've actually seen a lot of comments lately on the forum, or the Facebook group, rather, talking about multi-port Mopar. And I believe we've said that we have it, but I don't think people know. We have multi-port Mopar kits, people. Clip it.
Yeah.
Clip it. I'll clip it and put it on the forums. But
oh yeah,
seriously,
well, the good thing is that if you want the opinion of this stuff, because our authorized tuners, they get some of these guys get a little bit of special access to some of the stuff coming up because maybe they have a project that we're like, hey, we're planning on this. We'll just send you a thing and you give us data.
Need to make sure it works. I'm just kidding.
Well, we do all the
try to
testing
break
we can do. But like Bryant, for instance, he had a 440 big block he was putting in his CUDA, and I'm like, man, I've got an intake. I need to get fit checked, and he fit checked it, and I was like, oh, by the way, I got this multi-port system, so I sent that, and it worked out really well. But that's the tip for tat on that. It's he's doing good stuff. We're helping him out. He's helping us out. It works out really well. But he also carries very non-biased opinion about the pros and cons about all this stuff. So does like Justin Richardson, for instance, DK down DFW Speed Syndicate. These guys, like, they'll let you know. They're not going to filter anything out. This is great, but I had this. And this is great, but it's a little over here they could improve on. But they send that information back to us, and we do stuff with it. So a lot of the great advancements you see, even in the tuning software, is a lot of email exchange about why can't it do this? Why can't it do that? And I'm like, well, it sounds good. Probably should. Let's send it.
Yep.
And then I do my portion of my job, where it's a whole lot of other coordination and things.
Yep.
But yeah, that's if reach out to the authorized tuners. If you're thinking about a tune or what have you not, or you want to get a tune but you want to know more about the product before you buy the thing and all that, yeah you can just get up with those guys. They're all fantastic. We all communicate in inappropriate memes, so it's a pretty good relationship. Ben doesn't get memes from me. He's sad. I don't know. I've sent a few. I've made some in-house ones.
Not what I was thinking. All right. SHSPVR then are getting the fuel level support done and perhaps add the new feature like odometer mileage.
I like the odometer thing. The fuel level support, there's some new stuff with that going on. I don't have all the details, so I'm not going to get ahead of myself on that. But the odometer thing, that's popped up a few times on some of the some of the dashes we're looking at of maybe doing in the future, of just having those creature comforts of, like, some folks like to track their miles. Me, I judge my mileage by fuel tank. So there's that. Some people want odometer.
Yep.
And I think it'd be a good thing to add in later, but it'd be like a background GPS calculator or something like that would kind of track that. But
yeah,
that's a good talking point.
Jeremy 5186X8. Mine is in the mail.
Yeah.
Let's go. He probably has it by now. So what do you think, Jeremy? What does it look like? Thoughts? TagGeorge. On the Killshot 2, I go super lean when fully letting off the throttle at highway speed.
Supposed to.
I see other people say the same thing. Then people respond increase in the decel enrich, which would be an obvious thing to do, although I don't see a table or menu anywhere for that. The closest thing I can find makes the ISC shut faster, but the injectors go down like 1.2, which is just not enough even when the ISC is at 5. No, I do not have the cut fuel on decel turned on.
All right. So it could be something in your timing or something in the bottom of your fuel table. You can take to the deceleration area of your table. If it's going too lean, you can throw a little back in there. But the caveat to making it not lean on decel is the fact that they pop and bang. That's why there's that deceleration fuel cutoff option. If you're running a track car, you got it on. It's going to keep the fuel in there so when you get back into the throttle. And also, everybody loves it when you get something spicy coming into a corner and you're doing some trailing braking and all that whatnot, and it's just popping and banging away because it's good fun. We're all car nerds at the end of the day. But, yeah, you can work at the table a little bit. That used to be the old way of doing it, even if the deceleration fuel cut is turned off. Because if it's turned on, it's going to cut your fuel. It's going to go lean on decel. If it's turned off, it's going to keep it rich. It's going to reference the table and be like, okay, we're in this table. Now we're in this table because the throttle's closed. And you can adjust those numbers of is it too rich, is it too lean there. But that clears that up. Next.
Daniel Ortega. Hey guys, thanks for all the help. It's a two-part question. I have a few pressure regulator with an analog and digital sensor, and my jackpot reads about 20 psi higher. How do I correct this, and does the ECU do anything with the information for fuel pressure to adjust fueling in the tune?
So, here's the thing. There's some science. If your under the hood temperature is up to temperature, you may be running into a situation that the under the hood temperature is applying pressure to the gauge itself and causing it to be, see a higher pressure because, fluid expands at, I think fuel expands at about a 6% rate.
Yeah.
So if your jackpot's reading, let's say 60 psi, and your mechanical gauge, after it's up to temperature, is reading much lower, it's because there's more heat and pressure in that gauge manipulating the diaphragm in there.
Yep.
So that's one reason. A lot of them have a little vent on the back that helps out, but I've seen that before, to where under the hood temperatures skews the gauge reading. If you really want to know your fuel pressure, you can use gauge in a different place, or a remote mount gauge, or what have you not. You can do that, or you just read it cold, and as long as the performance doesn't change, you're good. Because that kind of situation right there will get you chasing your tail pretty quick, because you'll get obsessed about a number and you're chasing it, but there's physics involved in that too.
But it does. It does affect the tune. I mean, and you can go into the ECU and change that, depending on, or the ECU, the handheld, and change that reading. I think it's always preset to 58 right now.
That's not the one they're on about. They're talking about the actual digital reading itself, or the sensors, the difference between analog and digital.
Okay.
So with that, you can offset. You can go into the linear coefficient values and actually change that the values if you want to, but the digital one is going to be a bit more accurate at temperature than the mechanical one is. Yeah. Also, the fuel pressure sensor reading, our ECU currently doesn't do anything with it, but we will have some add-on later that will actually, if you have that active doing a thing, then you're looking pretty good there.
Yeah. Not on the handheld itself.
Right.
That number, but the number that's showing on your actual gauge does matter.
Mm-hmm. It's howling today.
It's okay.
We got the AC on in here for once.
We don't normally do that, but it's hot. So we're going to edit that out. You probably can't hear it. We can hear it.
Let's see. Mark Hughes, 4674. Since we moved on to the Fusion and Killshot 2, will the Killshot 1 have any more development, mainly with the second gen 5-inch handheld? The handhelds will be reverse compatible to the original Killshot 1. I'm running the third generation 5-inch HD super handheld, and also now I'm on a Bluetooth module on my Tahoe. The Tahoe is currently on a Fusion for testing, because I was doing some stuff and doing a lot more than I can talk about right now. But we made that video, and it is truly in the condition that I said it is in. We ran the Wizard, did a thing. I let the learning take over, put it on a road trip, towed a trailer, did a thing, moved a boat, hauled some batteries around the farm, drove it back, tail of the dragon, slayed the dragon, did the thing. Hang out with my motorcycle friends, had to go to the courthouse. That was fun, got some plates. Weekend stuff that we all do. But, yeah, reverse compatibility is a thing we're going to keep in mind for all the systems, because you may have, like, one of the very, very first generations of the handheld, and you're just like, I want that new thing. We come up with a new dash or something, so I want that new thing. So then you can know that you can just plug that thing in, and it's still going to read some data. Until I'm sure, like, years down the road, there won't be a reverse compatibility. We're talking years, but there'll probably be a firmware update that'll suit it just fine.
Yep.
But yeah. Yep. Normally, my Tahoe runs on a 2.5-year-old Killshot 1 that I put together out of bits and pieces of, like, returned product. Like, I actually own that thing, and it's not the newest harness. It's not the newest throttle body. It's not the newest injectors. It's not anything. And it's not even our brand coil I'm using. I just happen to have one in a box, and I'm like, well, this is a good product testing just to see what kind of awful combinations I can put it in and run it. So I think the only thing new in that is the distributor and the dirt car air cleaner on top.
It is.
So there's that. But generally, the stuff that I use in my personal stuff is like returned or bits and pieces and stuff. I put proper kits on for testing, but like when I'm done with that and I put it back in the box, I just put my old trusty Killshot 1 on that's been doing it since day one.
Yep.
The most updating I've done on that is firmware and a handheld because I broke the handheld.
Yep.
So I got the HD, which is great. Now I'm on a Bluetooth.
Yep. You want me to keep reading?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Okay. All right. Jeremy, 5186X8. Say you have a Fusion, and you're at the limit of the unit.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you have an EFI intake with provisions for 8 injectors to add to the Fusion. Do you think you would come up with an expansion for doing something like that?
Not in the Killshot package. That'll be a bigger situation. So that'll be one of those deals where, like, you know, we're adapting the jackpot to do a lot of extra work type stuff. But in the Killshot 2, you could run a dual quad setup when we release that here soon. Prototypes look cool. I don't have the intake in yet for drivability, but you'll see Ben will have a camera for that. That'll be fun. But yeah, for throttle body injection and multi-port injection at the same time, that's nothing we're really currently looking at because there's
that would be wild.
It'd be wild. I know some folks are doing it with a heavily modified system from another competitor
really?
that does a good job. Oh, yeah.
I didn't even know that was possible. I feel like you'd overfuel it really fast.
No. The goal is to run it on the throttle body, and as you need more for like your nitrous setup, or as you're coming under heavier boost, or you know when you really stretch the legs on what those 100-pound-an-hour injectors can do,
right?
Then those start coming in as the secondary setup.
Interesting.
Back and forth.
I learn new stuff every single day.
I've seen a dude run multi-port with a root-style blower one time, and he had a fuel injection unit on top that he used later as he was adding extra boost to the vehicle to help cool the supercharger as well and add the extra fuel necessary.
Does it also let air in at the top too? Like, how do you set up the linkage for that?
Yeah, it lets air in at the top. That's where it's a whole thing, but
whack. Okay. Anyway,
that's getting into some weird super custom stuff that.
That's interesting. Jed Saunders 7782. Hey guys, quick question. Have a Killshot 1 IAC is where it should be, and be at idle, but when I put it in gear, it will rise to almost 90. What should I look at?
No, you're good. You probably got too tight of a converter in that. So when the engine goes under load, the IAC responds to the extra fuel to keep the engine running. So it's going to be adding some fuel. It's going to be adding an appropriate amount of air to help keep it on that target you've dictated it to be. So you put it in gear, it's going to load the motor up, and that's going to be the response. And if you're unloaded in park, you're going to be about 10 or 20 or so. My Tahoe right now, when I throw it in gear, it's at 70-something in drive. Foot down on the brake, in drive, loaded up, at idle, it's about 70 or so. When I cruise down the road, it goes to its parked position, which is a little bit higher than that. But 90 is nothing to worry about. That just means it's loaded up and it's responding correctly.
Sweet. South Edge Drag Racing. Why would my Aces Jackpot LS, after driving for a bit, then putting it back into park, idle higher up at 1,200 to 1,400 RPM before it comes back down to my set idle?
That's another thing where the IX going to blast upwards because you can mess with the decay rates on that as well. But what it is compensating for some reason there's a little bit of extra fuel there, so it's trying to do that and then bring itself back down from that higher idle. So it's kind of a bit of a flare-up. You can go mess with a bit of fuel in the table and help that out a little bit, and it should be doing pretty good. Also, let us know if you drive-by-wire or drive-by-cable. Those are two different, very dynamic things there.
Yeah.
I've messed with the IAC, high and low P&D stuff, P&I stuff, and got some pretty good success out of on the proportional, because there's high when it's over and it does a certain thing, and then there's low when it's under and it does a certain thing. So you can mess with the proportional and integral values to help force that thing back down to its idle state if you need to go in there, because you could just be running a bunch of fuel too. So
TimeWarp-Racing. Is there still a dual quad coming? Asking for a friend. Edit. Just watch Tech Tuesday a little longer, and it'll also be answered. Thanks, guys. It is true. I did see the secondary.
Yeah.
I don't know where that's at.
It's on my desk.
Well,
that's what he saw. It's on my desk.
I mean, like,
we're going to do some in-house testing. We got some firmware stuff to do. We got some software stuff to do. We got to make sure it starts, runs, drives, and gets it. So if we can do all those things, and then we reach out to other folks,
people,
like
certain individuals.
Yeah, couple dudes,
possibly
couple
some
dudes
guys.
I know. But they'll be doing because we do it live there and get everything sorted out so that it can be tested on more important stuff, and then after all that's wrapped up, then it just big push out in the market, new firmware update, etc. I don't even know what we're going to charge for the throttle bodies. That's something I got to get with some folks about, but
I don't know either.
Yeah, we'll see.
Figure it out.
Figure it out.
John Doe, CK3PR. How about you guys offering can tunes per combination to get people less professional up and going?
That's something that I'm currently working on, but my supply of vehicles has run short. Seeing as how somebody snagged our Blazer. I have this whole project that launched a year ago called Project Repository. And what it is was going to be every cam combination we got from BTR, every intake, throttle body, and fuel injector. I do have another LS swap vehicle that I was thinking about bringing down here. There's a 4L60 5.3 truck motor and an OBS. I just happen to have it laying around and I'm doing nothing with it. So I'm going to burn through all that stuff on that gig and start getting back up on this because we got a big move to do, and that kind of testing and tuning needs to come back into play because we're moving, which is fun. We're not moving very far, but it's going to upset where my equipment's setting at. Yep. But the cool thing is at least it gets me out of the sun. And I like that.
Yep.
Out of the winter, out of the sun, out of the rain, because I don't mind. I got the big hat for that. It'd be fun. But, yeah, that is something you guys will be seeing is click on the link, sign the little waiver, look for the one that's the right combination. Because the ones we put on there is going to be ones that's like, in our opinion, is a safe enough tune to get you medium. It's not going to be the moon tune. It's going to be like, this is a runner driver. This was a good one, like in my Tahoe. It's 5.7 with a 4L60 and a kill shot fusion on it right now. And if you had a similar setup, you just click, drag and drop that thing in there and then send it. And those tunes, I'll go very conservative on the timing side. So it would be like, I'll tune it to the max and then bring about 15% out of it. So that leaves some wiggle room because not everybody engine is built the same. Some are more efficient, which requires less timing. Some are BryantStilwell's 440, which requires more timing because I saw the state of his cylinders. And it's funny, I'm building an engine, a very similar condition, except for I'm putting a big turbo on it because I got a bunch of LSs laying around. Why not? I just didn't want to pay the machine shop this time.
I hear you.
It's fine. It's fine. It's good enough.
Especially when you are your own machine shop.
Where's that?
NeoChemist74 says, thanks, guys. You totally nailed my question. Tim, you have a talent for getting to the root of the problem. He does. That's why we keep him around.
Yeah, I mean...
No.
We're
thankful he decides to stay around.
They keep me around because I'm very entertaining, and it's actually a lot less work for the media guys because I just make everything up, even though it's based in fact. And they're just
it's not made up.
Okay, we're done.
Okay.
We're done here.
CraftwerksMC says, the Bluetooth module is awesome.
Yeah, I like it.
Yep.
I really like it. I mean, I like it enough. I actually made a Facebook post about the thing itself, which, as you guys know, normally I just get on Facebook and troll on trolls because it's fun.
Yep.
But the thing is, I really like it.
Yeah.
I do. And one of my guys actually, I think he posted as well, but he's using a tablet. He's got a $70 Amazon tablet. I sent him the package, and he put it on there, and it just loaded up fine. It's just a big version of it. So I'm sure some of the spacing is a bit awkward, but it's neat. Actually, Ben might make a short about that, like, if you're going to use your tablet, do this.
We will. We'll make plenty of stuff on it. I've already got some guys that have the Bluetooth module or are getting the Bluetooth module. You all know who you are. So you'll be seeing some media of them using all different kinds of things.
Yeah, Ben tried to get me to sign all kinds of paperwork and stuff about mine. I mean, I did, but...
Go Wild 9405. Congrats on 100K subscribers. Thank you.
Hey.
That is
Bryant,
all of us together.
Bryant says we need to go to
I think we
Rapid Cities. Yeah, we covered
read that
one
last
before.
week. Mm-hmm. We do. We do need to. You should also just come down here, Bryant. Why can't you just, we'll sit you here. I'll go be behind the camera or do audio stuff or do something else. You and Tim can hash it out.
There is a thing I'm going to do. We're moving. We're moving. So I'm building a building. I think I'm going to start kind of like low-key doing a public invite to a few folks. If you're like kind of in the local area, like we're going to have a meet and greet, put something on the dyno, give it a send, cook bad barbecue, all that stuff. Let's think about doing that a few times a year. Yeah. Just kind of a thing. I don't know. Put in your comments if you want me to kind of do that when we get everything set up at the new place, because it's a whole separate building, so we could put something loud on the dyno for once.
I'm really excited. There's a lot of things we're gonna do. The podcast area, when it's all said and done, it'll feel more like a podcast instead of just this. But my goal is, I know you guys just want to see my beautiful face and listen to my great voice and all those things, but no, we'll get other guys, real legends of the industry, in here talking about ACES fuel injection, talking about carburetors, talking about all kinds of things. So this becomes more of a one-stop shop for industry stuff, not just fuel injection.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of really cool stuff coming.
It's a lot of 2 a.m. stuff. Sean McBean.
This is a good question.
Bluetooth
this is a really good question.
Deal seems cool. I agree. Will it work with Apple CarPlay? I'd like to know that too. I have one of those. Well, I do know the answer, but the thing is, iOS requires different licenses, money, and a little bit of a handshake. The cool thing is, after we finish what we're doing with the Android business, their next stop is iOS. We do have engineers.
We are working on it.
Are on that app platform, and they're quite well versed in it. So, they've the graphic user interface guys, the app people and all that stuff, they're working really well, because I like the feel of the app on the what's it called, an Android or whatever. I don't know. It's not an iPhone to me.
It'll take probably just a little bit longer.
September,
this is a short answer. It's in the works. Android can come out sooner, and we know people want that, so we're going to go ahead and move it out with the Android users, but we'll add iOS as soon as we can.
As soon as it goes to iOS, you guys, even before it's released, you guys will see me post. I'll probably be like, we got it. It's coming.
It's done.
It's ready. Even if it's not in the official ACES capacity, because sometimes I'm just like, this thing. Because there's other car people out there waiting for that answer.
Yep.
And sometimes if they know it's really coming, they'll wait.
Yeah. Bridge FPV also has a really good question here. With the Bluetooth module with a Raspberry Pi that adds the possibility to read additional gauges through the Raspberry. Gonna take some brain power to figure it out, but theoretically, will it be possible?
Oh, it's absolutely possible. I mean, we can't share our CAN data, but if you got a sniffer, you could do a thing or two. We got a few people out there already doing that. I know people that's used Raspberry Pis and Arduinos and built gateway modules to supply to their factory gauges using ACES equipment.
Yep.
That's nothing that we can directly do, because there's a lot of proprietary information with that.
Yep.
And eventually somebody will put it out on the internet, and then everybody will have our CAN data. Because
that's great.
No, it is what it is. It's the reality of there's some proper nerds out there that can do what I do, and that's great. But that's what we'll see, and then that'll be a thing where at some point we'll probably have a one of those gateway modules to, if somebody's trying to use their factory cluster, that it's more compatible. I don't know when that will be, but I do look forward to the opportunity of it, because it's just CAN data at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So also HP Academy does a really good thing about CAN data and kind of the science behind it. So if you guys really want to know more, I'd go check that out. It's really good. Then there's TagGeorge. Camaro. You've been watching Voyager. Yes, I am a nerd.
Jim Corman, don't forget swag, golf shirts, LOL. Yes, when we were at Good Guys Columbus, we got to meet with Jim Corman. You probably saw his red Mustang.
Look at this polo. It's an
And
office
we
polo
were
right
we were
here.
wearing these, and he was asking why we don't sell them, because we just use them for internal use.
We probably will.
We probably need to sell them.
With shop shirts, polos. I mean, I don't like wearing T-shirts in the garage.
I
like wearing the heavier gauge, like Dickie shirts.
I believe our first shipment comes in August.
Good.
So.
Yeah, I've lost a bit of weight, so all of my shirts fit bad. This used to be like form-fitting. Now it's not so form-fitting. I can wear it, but I don't have to take a hit to my ego about being gross.
It's okay. Jeffrey Rigged. Also, I got to make sure our audio is still there. Yes. Jeffrey Rigged. Would an O2 spacer be another good suggestion for the fouling O2 sensors?
They can help.
Just thinking, not sure it would work right. I know it works for no cats when you have a rear O2s. Just thinking it might be for the guys if they don't have the room to go back any further from the collector.
The issue you run into on the O2 spacers, the non-filers, is the fact that it makes a little swirl of air, a little eddy of air or exhaust gases right there at the sensor. So it's not really reading quite accurately when you do that. It'll throw everything off a bit. So you'll have, generally what happens is you end up with a bit of a false lean, and really dependent on the density and weight of the hydrocarbons, because they can get trapped in that eddy and then read a false super rich, which makes it super lean, and then you end up with some weird stuff happening. I've seen them both ways. I've also seen them work. And I think a lot of it is like, if somebody's put in the O2 sensor bung, at what angle is that as compared to the stream of gases? But you can put that O2 sensor just further downstream, and that'll help stabilize the exhaust gas flow itself and prevent you from foulers. Because a lot of people, though, I've seen people try to use non-foulers. They'll have the eBay special headers that has the O2 sensor bung in the actual merge point of the collector, not even on the collector, just where they all come together, and it's awful. But and then they're sitting there using it, and you're reading, you're just reading straight up raw fuel off cylinder number 8, and they're like, this O2 sensor's junk, and then they buy a Bosch and pay a bunch of money for it, and they put it in, and it smokes that, so they think it's something wrong with the system, and it's really just placement. Yep. And I've been running an O2 sensor, like, mine don't even have a part number on it. That's how old it is. It's the one that looks like somebody would hit with Scotch-Brite.
One of the biggest, I mean, I know we probably touched on this many times, but that O2 sensor placement is probably one of the biggest issues that we've ever run into. When we were at the last shows that we've gone to, when people have come up and are talking about a running condition not being the greatest, the O2 sensor is either right, as you're saying, in the collector, or I've seen them in just one of the headers.
Ugh.
Just one of them.
There's special O2 sensors for that, for individual cylinder trims.
But, I mean, genuinely, it's a really good thing to bring up, because it's probably, if it's not top 1, it's top 2, installation things that you run into when putting these systems on that people do. So, anyway, great question.
W Green 340.
Mm-hmm.
When is the 8 HP control going to be available? We're not looking too strong at the 8 HP currently. We got some Chevy and Ford stuff to deal with.
I don't even know.
But that's compatibility for down the road. It's just we're not in a massive hurry for that, because there's so many other ones that is more market appropriate to do, but we're not discounting the fact that exists, or that there is possibilities for us to adapt that. We just have to build, honestly, a more substantial trans controller, and then we'll be able to open up a whole new world of things we could do with it. Because depending on if you're dealing with Ford or Chevy or Mopar, because Ford doesn't have a TCM attached to it. Chevy has what's called a TECM. Mopar still deals with CAN data and this massive artificial neural network that sometimes gets very confusing. And depending on the generation, it's also going to be different. So there's a lot to do. It's going to be, bridging gateways, continental level software and such, trying to just make a 6, 8, and 10-speed transmissions work. Thereabouts.
Yeah. Jeepbum, do y'all still take old carbs on trades? We do not. And the reason for that is we just found it easier to just offer it at the trade-in price.
Yeah.
There's a lot more stuff going on in the back end that just made it easier to just offer it at the price.
Not with my department. We was pretty streamlined on that. That's all Ben's fault. Ben.
Yeah, because they all came through the marketing department.
Absolutely. They all sat underneath Ben's desk so he could probably
Tons of them. CitationMonkey. Hey, guys. Any chance you're working on add-on knock sensors for TBI units? Found a unit meant for a mega squirt system that will output 12 volt when knock is detected. Any concerns with feeding that to the ACES NOS input and retard timing? I mean, besides, you'll void your warranty.
No, I think that's cool, man. Let me know how that goes.
Yeah.
Seriously, that sounds cool. I'd feel okay with hooking that up because it's just sending 12 volts out to a 12-volt input trigger to retard timing. Way to think outside the box. That's pretty dope. Yep. I like that. It gives me something to think about. That's a mega squirt. I mean, I like mega squirt. Yeah, MS3 Pro's a unit, dude. I think that thing, hands down, stomps on the Dominator a little bit.
Yep.
Still pricey,
I agree.
But it's got a lot going on for it.
All right. I know we're out of time. But
Jeffrey Riggs said, new question.
Yeah.
Okay to jump off a car with another vehicle with an ACES unit on it, battery in the back. Little weak from setting, just won't crank the car. I need to jump it with my truck. Disconnect that battery and let your truck charge the other battery and then connect the battery and give it a go. A stone-dead battery or a very weak battery, when you hook up another source, is like bridging a dead short temporarily until the battery can start moving those electrons back over to the other plates and get some capacitance going on with itself. If it has no capacitance, it's like a dead short, and then all that extra dead short amperage and such, it's just going to fly right back into the ECU, and then we have some weird stuff happening.
Sad
things. Phone calls and emails and shipping labels.
It's true. ElvisMeeks, last question. What system do you recommend for an FE390?
If it's a pretty stock motor, dude, I would, depending on your intake, if it's 2-barrel, I would go with the Deuces Wild straight up. If it's a 4-barrel, and depending on if that one of those cast iron intake situations is whether I would go with a Fusion or whether I'd go with just a Kill Shot 2 with I would go Bluetooth module all the way around the block.
Yep.
Honest, I like it. I just like it. I actually like something.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't sound too bad. But, yeah, I would go with throttle body injection on that because you could stick with an HEI. Don't do the DuraSpark stuff. That stuff will give most systems, not even ours, it's a lot of folks, a headache.
Yep.
Just get yourself a conversion HEI, stick it on there, or get one of our distributors in a coil, stick it in. I don't think we offer the FE, do we? I'd have to. Do we? We have a distributor for that. I just have to look it up. We've got so many products now, and I stay back in my world that I have to actually do research into what we offer anymore. Not like I haven't seen each one, but some of the stuff I look at doesn't mean that we're going to sell it.
We definitely do. I don't know. We don't have one for the Hall effect.
I got a really neat intake right now that is really cool, but is a terrible idea. So, but it looks neat. This is not great.
Oh man, guys! Thank you so much for watching this episode of Tech Tuesday. Tim, any more comments? Any more things you wanted to add here at the end before we drop off? Thank you so much for coming out to the studio, as always. Looking forward to the studio being at our office. That'll be great.
Yeah, because I could actually bring my coffee with me because I am struggling.
Remember when we did that? Monster Energies, coffee.
Yeah.
We just sip. Remember the Christmas episode 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Just Anyway, it would be good.
I also remember when we started this, and we did not ask for permission.
We did not.
No.
And we had a microphone that we just held back and forth.
Sometimes you got to roll that dice, man. You know what I mean?
You can go check it out. I wouldn't recommend it necessarily, but it's certainly entertaining. We'll just leave it
Well,
there.
if y'all want to see me about 40 pounds heavier, go check it out. I have a really bright orange shirt on.
Oh, my goodness. Guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of Tech Tuesday. If you liked it, feel free to leave a like down below. If you have questions about ACES fuel injection or EFI in general, feel free to leave a comment down below as well, and we'll do our best to get to it in the next Tech Tuesday video. If you know of anybody that's going to switch to EFI or is thinking about it, send them our way. We'd love to talk to them, convince them, bring them over to the dark side. But guys, thank you so much. And as always, we will see all of you in the next video. Bye for now.
Bye now.